He was worshipped as a god of war. No one could defeat him. His name, feared across China, strong, decisive, relentless. He didn't just win, he dominated, battle after battle. The result was the same, fast, clean, unstoppable. There was nothing left to prove, but what set him apart was loyalty to his kingdom and to his lord Liu Bei. His enemies feared him, his allies depended on him. His name alone could shake armies. Even Cao Cao tried to take him. He had everything, and still he lost it all. Because of the choices he made, the arrogance he carried, and the chain reaction that followed. Guan Yu began as a fugitive, leaving Jai County in Hedong and moving from place to place. He eventually found his way to Liu Bei and Zhang Fei. Their bond ran deep, built over time through shared hardship. They lived together, fought together, and moved as one. They shared the same quarters and faced each campaign side by side. Over time, he rose through the ranks, becoming one of Liu Bei's most relied-on commanders and later one of the central figures among Shu's leading generals. In 198 CE at Xiapi City, Liu Bei and Lu Bu stood together. It wasn't enough. The city fell to Cao Cao. In the chaos, Guan Yu was separated from Liu Bei's faction. With no way back, he entered Cao Cao's service, but he continued trying to return to Liu Bei. 2 years later, at the Battle of Boma, Guan Yu rode out, broke through the front lines, and killed Yan Liang in a single charge. Yan Liang was one of Yuan Shao's leading commanders. Then, Yuan Shao's advance collapsed into retreat, his forces losing cohesion and falling back. He was granted the title of Marquis of Hanzhou Pavilion by the Han Emperor Liu Xie at Cao Cao's direction for his performance at Boma. Gold and gifts were given more than once. He was received with honor, invited to banquets, and presented with fine robes. He was even given red hair, the horse once ridden by Lu Bu. When he learned where Liu Bei was, Guan Yu left. He gave up the title, returned the gifts, but kept red hair and went to find him. In 219 CE, after Liu Bei was declared king of Hanzhong, Guan Yu, with Guan Ping beside him, marched from Jiangling against Fan Castle with around 30,000 elite troops, including a river fleet. At the start, Cao Ren was placed under pressure. Cao Cao then sent reinforcements led by Yu Jin. They camped beside the Han River as heavy rains began. A risky position. Heavy rains followed. The Han River overflowed. Guan Yu waited as the water rose, then launched the attack at its peak. Yu Jin's forces were caught in the flood. The formations collapsed. Guan Yu's forces charged in. The entire army broke. Yu Jin was captured. Pang De refused to surrender and was executed. Fan Castle was left isolated. The reinforcements were gone. Guan Yu defeated the 7 armies, and his name shook the region. After the flood, the impact reached Cao Cao. The situation was serious enough that moving the capital was discussed. At the front, Guan Yu continued the siege of Fan Castle. With the reinforcements gone, it seemed within reach. But the campaign stretched on. The front line pushed further north, while the rear in Jing province grew thin. His forces were already worn from the previous battle. Supplies tightened. The pressure began to build. To the east, Sun Quan had once proposed a marriage alliance. Guan Yu rejected it and insulted the envoy. The relationship broke. At the same time, Cao Cao sent Shu Huang with a large force. Along the way, he gathered scattered troops, including remnants of Yu Jin's army, and additional forces from nearby areas joined him as he advanced. His strength grew steadily. He did not go straight for Fan Castle. He stayed away from the main battlefield, avoiding a direct clash. Instead, he took apart the outer line, forward camps, supply points, defensive positions. One by one, they fell. Guan Yu was pulled apart. The siege began to loosen. His forces were forced to spread out, shifting from encirclement to reaction. Xu Huang held his ground, regrouped, consolidated his strength, then struck again. This time, at 4 key high ground strongpoints, they fell. The perimeter gave way, the encirclement tore open, morale broke. Guan Yu withdrew in chaos, abandoning the siege. He turned toward Jiangling, trying to steady the situation, restore supplies, and reorganize his forces, preparing to strike again. But the momentum was gone, and to the east, Sun Quan had already begun to move. While Guan Yu was still on the move, thinking of turning back to retake Fan Castle, the situation behind him had already changed. To the east, Sun Quan gave command to Lu Meng and Lu Xun. Instead of a direct confrontation, they planned a surprise attack on Jing province. Lu Meng moved first. His forces advanced in small groups, disguised as merchants and civilians. They crossed the border unnoticed, then used light boats to move quietly along the river, bypassing the entire warning and defense system. They were not detected. The Shu garrisons offered little resistance, their defenses quickly breaking down, and soon surrendered to Wu forces. At Gong'an, the commander Fu Shiren opened the gates and surrendered. At Jiangling, the capital, Mifeng did the same. Then, the surrounding counties fell one after another into Wu's control. There was no massacre. Civilians were treated well. The families of his soldiers were left unharmed. Resistance collapsed before it could form. By the time Guan Yu received the news, he was still on the road. Morale broke. His army could no longer fight. Guan Yu was forced back with the remnants of his army. He was pushed into Mai Castle, a position between Fan Castle and Jiangling. Mai Castle was a weak stronghold. Poor defenses, limited troops. Supplies were already running low. He sent for aid to Shangyong, to Liu Feng and Meng Da. They did not come. Wu forces quickly advanced and laid siege to Mai Castle. Guan Yu broke out, attempting to withdraw west toward Yi province. But the route had already been prepared. Near Linju, Wu forces set an ambush. His forces gradually collapsed. By the end, only a dozen or so soldiers remained at his side. Guan Yu and his son, Guan Ping, were captured by Ma Zhong. Liao Hua, one of his officers, was also captured in the collapse. Wu attempted to persuade them to surrender and serve. They refused. They were taken to the execution ground. Guan Yu's life ended there. Guan Ping, who had followed him through every campaign, died alongside his father. Sun Quan sent Guan Yu's head to Cao Cao. Cao Cao did not insult him. Instead, he honored Guan Yu with a burial befitting a noble, showing him respect in death. With the loss of Jing province, Shu's strategic corridor was broken. Its forward base for northern campaigns disappeared. From then on, the road to the north was no longer the same. Guan Yu did not fall in a single moment. At the front, he pushed too far. His forces were already worn down after the flood. The line stretched and control weakened. At the rear, Jing province was left exposed. When it collapsed, the front could no longer hold. To the east, he rejected Sun Quan's proposal and turned a potential ally into an enemy. Within his army, he was kind to his men, but arrogant toward superiors and unforgiving toward equals. He was especially harsh toward Mi Fang and Fu Shiren. When pressure came, that weakness showed. Some surrendered, some did not act. Wu avoided direct battle. They infiltrated and dismantled Jing province from within. From the north, pressure continued. Forces under Cao Cao advanced again, forcing him to divide his attention. When he called for support, none arrived. This was not a single mistake. It was overextension, isolation, fractured command, and coordinated opposition, all unfolding at once. By the time he realized it, the outcome had already been decided. The news reached Liu Bei. Jing province was gone. Guan Yu was gone. But this was not just a loss of land, it was the loss of a brother. In the aftermath, Meng Da had already defected and joined Cao Cao. Liu Feng did not escape and bore the consequences. Though he bore responsibility, he was also the one pushed forward to take the consequences. Liu Bei ordered his execution. Once, he had been his son. No one in the court spoke. Liu Bei could not let it go. Guan Yu remained on his mind, quiet, measured, and in the silence, preparations had already begun. Something was coming.